Test, test, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's start the motherfucking show.
You're watching Anime Sundays.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Anime Sundays, a show where we talk about anime on Sundays. So today we have an interesting debate topic. Once again, as you can see, I am back in HQ down in Atlanta, Georgia, where I will be discussing the top ice users in anime.
Ice Age.
Some of you have may seen my boy Showing the Showdown's top fire users in anime, so I thought it was only right to follow up with some of the top ice users that we know in anime. Now, of course, you know there's a million different anime characters with ice powers, but I thought I would focus on the ones who are the most popular and seem to be in the realm of the most powerful of them. Now, when I'm discussing the abilities of these ice users and why I'm ranking them in their set position, it's not necessarily to say that, okay, the person at number 1 is stronger than the person at number 2 or number 5. What I'm really looking for here is who is using their ice abilities the best, especially in their verse. Now, I'm only going to be selecting about 5 ice users or so. There's just way too many out there for me to try to dissect every one of them and all their abilities. So, at the bottom of the list, I actually have Puck from Re:Zero. Now, a lot of you may not have seen Re:Zero or seen any of the movies. You may not know much about Puck, but Puck is a spirit guardian to Amelia, who is one of the main characters in the show. And when Puck kind of gets into her crazy beast mode, her power is like so great that she's pretty much freezing everything around her. Anytime Puck starts getting into that serious beast mode, especially if you've seen the movie where she's actually fighting like a more affluent fire spirit, her ice powers are like out of this world. She even has the power to freeze the world. I feel like in terms of ice ability, being able to freeze the world, she can freeze things to absolute zero. She even can take somebody out of absolute zero temperature. And even though she may not be using hand-to-hand combat ice powers all the time, anytime she's gone full beast mode, her ice powers have been something that people in her verse couldn't even see. I think it is safe to put her on the list at number 5. So now at number 4, I actually have Esdeath from Akame Got Killed. What can we say about Esdeath? A lot of you have seen the show. General of the Imperial Army, has the Imperial arms of an ice danger beast inside of her because I believe she drank the blood, and it allows her to pretty much use ice to her will like anybody else with ice powers, creating ice pillars, weapons, golems, firing icicles, flash freezing rivers, flash freezing people, keeping them alive. Esdeath's ice ability is a little bit above par. And one of her abilities that really kind of roped me in to put her on this list is she can freeze time for a slick moment as like a part of her kind of ace in the hole. I don't really know any ice users that can do that. She is pretty well versed as an ice user. Plus she is one of the hardest soldiers in the show. Only could be defeated by Akame, kicking people's heads off already without ice powers. We can't keep her out of the conversation of one of the top ice users, especially for someone who doesn't have like magical powers compared to like Naruto or One Piece or whatever. I feel like she needs to definitely be on this list. So that's what I have at number 4. At number 3, I actually have Toshiro Hitsugaya, a 10th squad captain of Soul Society. Just like Esdeath, your boy is super well versed in the ice. You're using his Zanpakuto on contact, freezing people, right? Creating all types of armor and using the water in the air. We all seen his Bankai, gets out of control. Again, Toshiro, flash freezing in large radiuses, creating wings. You see the enemies he fought. You see the ice manipulation bro uses, being able to fly with it. And then I know even in the manga, his older form, bro was like super OP. He's like flash freezing matter in 4 steps or something wild like that. I don't read the manga, so you know I had to have him at least in the top 3. I don't have him at number 1 simply because he's not just an ice user. I mean, yeah, that's his main ability. He's also a great swordsman, also has strong spiritual pressure, is very intelligent. So I feel like the next 2 people I pick are a little bit more dependent on their ice abilities, and I feel like that makes them a little bit more qualified to be higher in the list. So next up, I have Gray Fullbuster. I know a lot of you people are like, oh my god, you put a Fairy Tail character over a Bleach character. Like I said, I don't think Gray is stronger than Toshiro or stronger than everybody on the list, but I do think Gray, from what I've seen, is one of the greatest ice users in anime. From learning ice make magic to a point where he can use it against some of the strongest enemies in Fairy Tail. I think Gray's ability is a little bit more superior because he's kind of like the Green Lantern of ice. Whatever he can think of, whatever he can put to his creativity, he can make into ice. And then not to mention, your boy has Devil Freezing Ice Magic. Ice magic specifically for demons. The only way he was really able to fight his father, fight Natsu. And then even Gray getting his ultimate move, Iced Shell, that or however you pronounce it, passed on to him. And as y'all know, Ice Shell pretty much freezes whoever the caster uses it on, anything, even a demon, forever, at the cost of your own life. Besides the long list of abilities he has with his ice magic, that ultimate move plus Devil Slaying Ice Magic definitely has earned him the number 2 spot among ice users. And now you may say, what's the difference between Gray and Toshiro and Esdeath? For me, it's the plethora of abilities that Gray has. It's like Gray can use his ice for something new almost every time. He deserves to be number 2 for sure on the list. Now at number 1, and I know y'all saw this coming from a mile away. Yes, I have your boy Ioki Kuzan from One Piece. The main reason I have this man over everyone else, it's a little different with a Logia because you really don't have an end to your ability. Kuzan can pretty much use his ice as much as he wants without really any little effort. Aokiji can do a lot of the things that Esdeath and Gray, and I believe even Toshiro can do a little bit more effortlessly. Now, I don't necessarily think he's the strongest, but when you are an actual element, when you are ice, and you're pretty much doing everything every other ice user is doing, except there's really no depletion of your ability. Gray can run out of magic. Esdeath can't always use her ace in the hole, and even she can't fight forever. Even Toshiro, his Bankai, has a limit on it. Fighting a Kainu for 10 days, and really only stop because Akainu is his literal counterpart to his ability. Going up against Whitebeard in the war, I feel like Aokiji can pretty much do anything any ice user can do. Simply for me, because he is ice, I feel like he just has a better understanding of his ability than anybody else. Anything that Gray can make, Aokiji can also make. Whereas Gray had to go through years of training and from birth having to be raised up in ice magic to get where he's at. Whereas Aokiji got the fruit when he was already a Marine, before he was even an Admiral. You're talking about a man with less time with his ability, yet doing everything that all these other great ice users are doing, and probably can do even more than them if prompted to. So yeah, that's my list. I have Punk at number 5, Esdeath at number 4, Toshiro at number 3, I have Gray Full Buster at number 2, and I have Aokiji at number 1. Thank you all for joining me for another week of Anime Sundays. Justice for Breonna Taylor. And yeah, see y'all next Sunday.